Warning: the video you are about to view contains delicate information that has been passed down for generations. Some viewers may consider this information to be disturbing or even terrifying. Viewer discretion is advised. Since the dawning of man, we have been intrigued by spiritualism. We know about priests and how they worship the Holy Father and the Holy Son, celebrating the Last Supper and honoring He who had died for our sins. But when we look at the time before, there was already talk of spirits, devils, ghosts, and ancestors watching over us. Native American shamans would use incense, for example, to exorcise dark energies from their people by a process called smudging. They knew that there is more to our world than the physical eye can see.
I'm not crazy. I've been here and shit.
The map board for your artwork mounted to.
You guys, thank you so much. All these positive comments and likes. I am so wow. I'm just amazed. As a thank you to our new subscribers, I put in little Easter eggs based on your profile. So if you haven't found your Easter egg in this episode, don't worry and stay tuned. I will keep putting them in as long as I can. So if it's not this episode, it will be the next. Of course, I owe a very big thank you to Mark and Simon of the Paranormal X team for sharing my video with their community. You guys are the best. Everyone go check them out on YouTube, Facebook or Twitter. A link will be in the description. Well then, without further ado, in the last episode, we learned about debunking and being our own critic when we are working in the field. But when we cannot debunk by observation and logic, we can try to establish contact. We can turn on both our EVP recorder and our ghost box, but what do we ask the entity and how do we address him? When we call a specified entity and call out a name, we ourselves create the attachment for the being. We need to consider that this can actually anger them as we summon them from wherever they are and whatever they are doing. To understand more of this, I will have to tell you about a certain phenomena, a phenomena called NDE, which is short for near-death experience.
Cascading through a dark tunnel.
In a dark tunnel,
And I saw this big tunnel.
and there was this tunnel that seemed very dark, but there was this great light at the end. The tunnel felt familiar, it felt comfortable, it was dark, as they say, often in these stories. This feeling that was coming through this tunnel of love, because I saw this white light over here. This
amazing, beautiful, peaceful, loving, all-encompassing, and unconditional light.
In that white light, every question I ever had, any idea about what was what or how things worked, was answered immediately.
And the closer I got, the more I was filled with an ecstasy, with a love, with an unconditional love.
And this being came up to me, genderless, very, very powerful, loving being, who just took me in its arms and held me.
And I said out loud, I'm home. At last I'm home.
I was safe. I was home.
Thinking, oh, I'm home, I'm home. That's all I kept thinking.
It felt like going back and standing in the middle of the heart of God.
The life has a wonderful sense of humor. And we're laughing and we're talking, we're just having a great time. And then the light says to me, Andy, you have to go back.
And I remember saying, I'm not going back there because it's nasty. People are mean.
Now, I'm not going back. I said to the light, I don't think so. I'm home. I'm staying.
And I really wanted to stay because it was really good there.
And then the light said to me for the second time, Andy, you're going back. And I said, no, you don't understand. I don't want to go back into that body. I don't want to go back on Earth. I'm home here in the light.
I did respond with, I'm not going back.
And boy, did it feel different. I mean, 3 dimensions, when there's not a lot of love, is a real difference from where I was.
And I was crying. And all of my classmates thought I was crying from the pain of drowning. But I was crying because I was no longer in the light.
Do you understand the point that I'm trying to make? I implore you, go out and learn more about the subject, whether you're a scientist or a hobbyist. When the Ouija board came onto the market, it was sold as a game. They had to call it a game to sell more. But with every game, there comes a set of rules. So when we contact an entity, what rules do we follow? When we summon entities by specific names, they might not like it because they are pulled away from something beautiful. That is often why during a ghost box session the phrase, "Is there anyone that would like to speak to us?" is used. We try to work with something that is already there, something that is stuck or something that needs help. Aside from that, those entities may seem angry, but frustration would be a better description of the situation. So we need to find a way to calm them down a little. We can use incense to calm not just ourselves, but them too. Libinum is a hardened tree sap. The Aztecs would believe that it was dried up sunlight, as the tree grows in well-lit places, and the sap itself has a gold-like color. When burning it as an incense, you can describe the smell as warm, loving, and light. This is also known as frankincense. I use it often to learn later that the tree that it's gained from is called Palo Santo, which means holy wood. Experiment and see what fits you best. Just keep in mind that the purpose is to create a calm and positive energy, so your intentions will be registered as positive. After all, contacting the dead doesn't sound as much fun as having a party with the afterlife. Ask questions like, what is your favorite food or favorite music?
Ghostboy, call me Mr. Ghostboy.
Even better, let me ask you, people who subscribed and view my videos, about your favorite sport. I'm pretty sure that when you think about it, or talk about it, you feel a lot better, back to your roots and motivated. It's that little spark that ignites a flame of passion and love. However, When we have established contact, it is important that we do learn the name, so that we can help him or her towards the light. When we have learned the name of the entity, we can summon. Now I can hear you thinking, didn't you just say we shouldn't summon? That's right, we shouldn't, unless the entity carries the omnipresent attachment. And so, it's safe to call out the name Michael. His name means he who is as God. He is the prince of all angels and the right hand of God. An archangel, equipped with a spear to force demons into submission, but also to point towards the light for those who are lost. Also, he serves as a Patreon for the Los Angeles Police Department. Now, a short recap. We debunk, show or state our intentions, establish contact, we root the entity by asking about hobbies or passion, and ask their name. Now, you will discover that getting them to tell us their name won't always be as easy as we would like. So we need to motivate them a little more. Saying things like, I would like to help you, but I'll need to know your name to do so. Once you have a name, we can recite a prayer towards Michael or even to God, asking them to show them the light. This prayer can vary as long as the intentions are true. It can be as simple as, please God, help the soul of insert name here, and guide him or her to your light of love and peace. Or it can be as complicated as, I call upon the lantern of the south, he who is as God. Descend from the Zag and point thy spear towards the crystal throne, so that, insert name here, may find peace and comfort in judgment of the Almighty. So please, do not summon that movie star or pop artist because you're not helping them. Nobody is waiting for another crazed fan disturbing their peace after they died. In the worst case, you can even get the one you loved and adored in life stuck between worlds. My father died when I was 15, and my mother died when I was 23. But I never even got close to considering contact, and with good reason. Something else that we need to understand is that there are things like the wrong question. If you ask something like, when am I going to die, doesn't sit well with every entity. There are some registered documents about deaths occurring just a little while after a session because of this. Avoiding the use of the word death is advised, as in my own experience they often get angry. I don't really know why this is, but it is. So instead of asking, do you know that you are dead? I advise asking things like, do you know where you are? What is the last thing you remember? Or, have you been to the light? They will eventually start to realize what's going on by themselves, and it makes them aware, or at least think about their situation. Once they realize their situation, they will calm down, often apologizing for their behavior, and they might even thank you for showing them what's going on. I had this very situation in my current home where I live in. I will tell you all about it in the next episode. Everybody, thank you for watching, and join me next time as we explore more unpronounceable names. So when that shadow runs across your wall, or that glass is thrown from your table, you will understand their cry of help. All we need to do is show a little love and show them we care.
Do you mind that Kiba can see you? No?
even if.